Welcome to the Mavericks podcast. In this episode, me and Terance continue our conversation and continue to dig deeper into addressing confrontation and inspiring new perspectives in the people around us. Towards the end, we talk on some topics of forgiveness again, so don't worry, we haven't forgotten about the part 2. Enjoy the show. Excuse me. Okay, now we understand that. Now let's readdress. You could do one thing, which is something that I talk about in healthy confrontation, is you can say, hey, this bothered me because of this. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be met with positivity around that, because I have voiced how I feel to someone and been completely laughed at. But, and here's the but, you feel better afterwards, even if they laugh at you. It's not internalized on you anymore, because you're letting go of that tension internally. So we can say we're killing the ego. Okay. And you're understanding why you want to say something back in a certain way, and then internalizing it, and then reducing your ego, and then you're able to readdress and try and understand why they're angry more. And when you understand why they're angry, it becomes a lot less burdensome on you, because you're not internalizing it and you're not personalizing it. So if someone's angry at me, the only reason it drains me is when I'm taking it in and I'm taking it personally. If you don't take it personally, it's just like if someone who speaks a different language is in front of you right now, not me, okay? So I'm some weird dude speaking French, okay? I'm talking like this way to you, but I'm cussing you out. But you don't understand what I'm saying, so you're not personalizing it and you're not internalizing it, and it doesn't mean anything to you. But I'm cussing you out and I'm cursing you right now, right? But the only thing is, you don't know that because of the tone, right? So if I came at you angrily and I was saying all these happy things about you, and you understood the happy things I was saying at you, but you knew I was frustrated, you would understand that it's not personal.
That it's not personal.
So maybe you're in your situation, you're taking everything that they say personal to you, when in reality they're probably not angry at you about everything. And that's definitely the case, because they're dealing with their own stuff.
They're dealing with their own stuff.
Right.
It's hard to get past that, though, when you're healing a particular wound and they're hitting it.
Yes.
Every day.
Which is where the killing the ego part comes in.
Every day. And it's like, okay, baby. And like, even with my therapist and we've talked about this before. And she's like, and I hate to use this analogy because people get mad when I get mad at it. She goes, but if you're in an abusive relationship and every day you go home and you know you're being abused, it's going to be hard to heal from any trauma that was there from the day before, because you're being re-traumatized. So when you have communicated these things, say with family members per se, in my perspective, and they're aware of it and they're still doing it, and you have like a lot you're addressing, because this is a lot I haven't really talked to people about in my healing journey, because one, it's going to be in my podcast, but it's also being used for other things. It's very hard to heal in that space, which is why I think even with our communication, I've been more shut down. Because trying not to internalize it while you're still being hit in that area, and you've gone...
Well, you're isolating yourself.
I have been isolating for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. And my therapist and I talked about it. And it's been healthy and unhealthy. So it's another coping mechanism that I'm learning to actually use correctly. Because there is a time to isolate, and it's a time where you should not isolate. And I've been going back and forth between the two. Especially with being in the career field that I'm in, I take on everybody else's problems every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So while still trying to heal my problems consistently and be mentally aware, because you're only as good for other people as you are for yourself. And then you're in a space with unhealed people who don't understand that they cannot do certain things or say certain things certain ways or respond certain ways consistently before they start to cause you to unravel, which is one of the things that we'll have a discussion on. But from a spiritual context and things, being in a place that causes you to go back to old things that you came out of. So, like I've shared with people before, I've been dang near borderline alcoholic, dealt with some other issues. And the space I'm in right now has had me want to go back and revert more often than not. And it's like I can't do that because now I'm killing the progress that I made. So as much as I want to say, and even in the aspect of childhood trauma, mentally to keep having to tell myself, okay, even though, like I said, some things it's like, okay, I'll do something small that'll make a whole big tsunami of issues. But that's what happens when you live with other people who don't understand you live with other people. But the context that has been unhealthy, I can say for me in this, is having to always say, okay, I caused this. Even though I didn't technically do it and I'm not internalizing it, because it's putting me back in a mental space that I am still trying to get out of feeling certain things my entire childhood was my fault, that I had nothing to do with. So
Okay,
I'm still
so we
trying
should
to
probably not think of
choose
it that way then.
Yeah, so I don't want to go too deep into that, but I'm still trying to heal that area and then still take like, okay, this one was on me. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe this one.
Okay,
It's
hold on.
like it's a jab in some areas.
Let's say, instead of saying this is my fault, let's say,
Because if I say, because it's almost like,
well, you're
okay,
gonna,
I
you're gonna,
caused this or I'm partially responsible.
yeah,
for
you're gonna
this.
subconsciously accuse yourself doing it, and that's why it doesn't
Yeah.
change. So I want to change that because I'm recalling a situation where I said that, and then the person I'm talking to immediately breaks down, and I'm like, no, it's not actually your fault.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it gives you more control over the situation.
Yeah.
So I want to change that, and I want to say, this situation happens. This happened. Okay. I can't change what happened, but I can control how I react to it.
And that's what I'm working on.
Okay, and
Because over this past week, it's been hard to do that.
right. And maybe that's where we connect to the ego thing, right?
Yeah.
So we'll say I can't control what's happening right now, and what did happen, and the way that this person reacted to me. I can't control if I personalize it, and I can't control how I react in response.
Yeah.
So let's say this happens, this person's yelling at you, screaming at you, whatever. I can choose not to personalize it because most likely it's not because of you.
Nothing to do with you. Yeah.
Especially when it's anger. When it's anger coming out, they're angry at their situation, they're not angry at you.
per se.
And if they're angry at you, they're probably going to put hands on you. Well, just being honest, like, or try and verbally put you down, right? Very, 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 very aggressively. And if that's the case, you can respectfully, you can say, hey, this is not a situation that I want to be in right now. You're attacking me verbally, or if you're attacking me physically, I obviously react and you're gonna have to put hands on the other person if you're fighting him.
Yeah.
Or if they're trying to put hands on you, sorry. But verbally, you can leave.
Yeah.
So you can say, hey, obviously this isn't working out, and the conversation is getting to the point where you're just verbally attacking me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave this conversation. Instead of, and if they interrupt you, be like, you can raise your voice a little bit and be like, hey, I'm leaving this conversation because we're not getting anywhere, and unfortunately, I feel like you're just attacking me. And because of this, I can't entertain this conversation anymore, and just leave.
Yeah.
And then I feel like maybe you've tried to some degree to try and do that, but the communication part of it is when you say I feel like and then lead it with something else, it changes everything in my opinion. And I say this because if I know you're thinking about something, if I want to get you to say it, I'm not going to say, what are you thinking about? Because then you're immediately like, oh, what am I thinking about? If I say, I feel like you're thinking about something, I've tried this, right? I heard this somewhere, but I've tried it. If I say, I feel like you're thinking about something, your immediate response is to look at me and then you're going to say what's on your mind. So the I feel like, and then leading it with something about the other person it's like an invitation that they don't think about or they don't have to think about. So if I say, I feel like you're attacking me verbally, or let's say, I don't really like that, but if I say, I feel like you're not really taking the time to hear me. Maybe that could lead somewhere. But it's a powerful statement. And it's more inviting and it's less of an attack, right? And especially when you're dealing with narcissistic people, if you say that, if they're gaslighting you, you're trying to gaslight, like, I feel like you're doing this. I'm not saying you are, but I feel like right now you're doing this to me. And then immediately they're going to be thinking, you're like, no, I'm not doing this to you. And then that opens a whole conversation, right? So one thing I want you to do is try and use that kind of a statement, and just literally just try it once, and you'll see an entire change. Because I tried it once, and I was like, holy crap, this actually works. Kill the ego part, right? So try not to personalize everything, and instead of, like I said earlier, don't say, oh, this is my fault. Just be like, this is what's happening. I can't change what did happen. I can't change what's happening right now. I can change how I react to it and how I take it in. And if I don't want this negativity, I can choose not to have that negativity. It's a choice. I can choose not to have that and not let it affect me. That's a hard thing to learn consistently and all the time, because I struggle with it, but it is something you get to choose.
Yeah.
And then the third thing is, remember, we're talking about one specific person. Don't go all out on everyone, but one specific person. Make it about them. Consciously and intentionally, instead of being like, oh, this is all about you, let me make this all about you, right? Say, when I'm saying make it about them, they're coming at you with that anger, understand why they're angry. Maybe not address it as far as being like, okay, you're angry because of this, and then because they can just clap back at you. We don't want to do that. We want to make it to where they can't really approach you like that. We want to more or less understand internally why it's happening, why they're angry, and then respond with love. Hard, I think. Hard to some degree. And that comes to my mind because when I was younger, it was filled with anger all the time. But then all of a sudden I made a switch to where anytime someone came, or anytime my grandmother came at me with anger, all I did was respond in, why does she feel this way? I want to understand why she feels this way so that I can help. Different perspective completely, because now I'm not addressing her anger or with lack of understanding. Now I'm all of a sudden, she's angry at me, and she's taking it out on me. But I want to understand why
she's doing it,
so that I can change that for her. Because one of my deep-rooted questions for a long time is, how do I help someone who doesn't want to help themselves? Because in my perspective, that's how my grandmother's always been, and I care about her so much. And it's one of my very internal things that I don't talk about much. So it's more of a, I understand you're angry, and I understand it's not at me, but I'm the one that's easiest to go to. Because I was targeted a lot between the three of the kids. So I was like, you're angry? Why are you angry and how can I help? Don't say, why are you angry? Obviously, you don't want to approach it so direct like that, because then it just gets met with more anger.
It gets met with more anger.
So you have to find ways around. And if you can find the way around it, which is asking questions or implying statements that elicitate a response back. So taking in whoever this person is, say those I feel like statements, and then I forget what the other one is, kill the ego, I think.
Kill the ego.
Yeah. And then respond with love. Ooh, I like that, actually. So I feel like statements, kill the ego, respond with love. And this is the experiment.
Yeah.
Choose one person in this entire thing, and just to meet you in the middle.
Yeah.
If there's someone that comes along that has some anger towards me, which I can think of maybe one person, maybe my property manager, but I'm also going to be leaving soon. So, but I mean, I like to
no F's given.
But I like to respond with some sort of love or something. So I don't like to leave things on a bad note or a bad foot. So I was just like, okay, I can maybe approach this with with me leaving. I can approach it in a positive way, and I can approach it like that. Like, I understand this is maybe how you thought of me. Sorry you feel that way. Let's see if we can address it. That way I can at least leave on it, because I've never left the job in a bad foot, right? Yeah. So maybe I can do it, and so I can meet you in the middle with that. And anyone else who's watching, you guys can try this as well. I'm sure you'll have pretty positive results, because again, I feel like I've done this as well, and I've had positive results. And when I address things, when I address the anger that's given to me with a sense of love and trying to understand, even if it's not at first and immediate, because it's not your natural reaction to anger, I feel like it does elicitate a positive response, or a more positive response. Even if it's not immediate, it does plant that seed, because it shows that there is that care and there is that love, even in people who don't want to feel that. So if we can try those three things, I'll do it in whatever situations I come across. I would say just try and choose one person, and then maybe we can unpack it in the next episode that we get on together.
We can try again.
So we can
we could try.
Might as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt at this point, because it's something new, right?
To a degree. Because I've met them with love on multiple occasions. And granted, with each one of them, I know what's behind a lot of their anger, and what's behind a lot of their unforgiveness, which is why I've been very big on studying unforgiveness and learning why God said it's important, outside of just the benefit of saying, okay, I'm going to forgive you so God forgives me. Outside of that, why it's important for people, community whole, to forgive.
I'm not saying this is going to work.
But we got to
either.
have, I feel like to put it in terms of my therapist, no matter how much you want to help a person, sometimes we don't have the bandwidth to actually help that person. We can have all the knowledge, all the information, but because it's coming from, like, look at it as a cell phone provider. My T-Mobile phone might not work on somebody else's AT&T network, because the phones aren't synced for that network. And
well, it's more of a blocking. It's an internal blocking that the providers do.
Yeah. So it's, in some cases, because I've approached this with my therapist a couple of times.
What's it choosing to block?
Some people won't allow you into that space for multiple reasons. Like, and I can say for one of my parental relationships, because they don't want to actually heal certain areas, deal with certain things, go certain places. No matter how much of an education and knowledge, no matter how many degrees I have in the subject, no matter how well I do it, they, because of where they sit in their mental headspace with that authoritative figure, it's gonna take another person outside of me.
Right,
and that's where
that they have on you.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I can say with one of the circumstances, it's like, I know at this point, the only way The only way for us to actually have a better relationship would be for me to move, because that's how we got close the first time. I moved to a whole nother different city. I would just remove myself from everybody. And once I was gone about 6 months, then the communication got better. We talked more. We visited more. We had more one-on-one conversation, more one-on-one time. Now that we're back in the same space, it's the same. It's reverted back to the same thing. So it's like at this point, I'm going to have to put that space between us. Because when I put space between us, they went to therapy. They went and got help. They started going through the process. So in this situation, and then looking over my life of pattern of what has made us healthy in our parental-child relationship, space actually brings us closer together. When we're together, it's like anything that they haven't dealt with or refused to gets dumped in my lap. And that's on both sides. I said, that's mom and dad. The difference is my dad just chooses to walk away and not be involved, where my mom is more like, she'll go toe to toe with you. But that's also, I've noticed with my family, between her siblings, their unhealthy way of showing love to one another. They will fight and argue back and forth. I've seen them go to fist fights and blows. Some random person that's not part of the family say something, and they're fighting that individual as if they've been best friends their whole life, as if they didn't just cuss each other out. So I'm trying to figure out the exact way she said. It's like it's an unresponse, like magnetic thing that it's just like I'm the one that gets dumped on. And I've noticed that my entire life. My grandma used to say it. My past 2 therapists have been like, you're the one that just kind of gets dumped on, because they know that you can take it until I can't take it. And then I have to remove myself, so they deal with it. So I think we're in that place. Just overall, with that particular person, with that particular one, I think we're in that place where it's time for me to remove myself.
Maybe, but that's not an option right now. So
it's gonna have to be.
Well,
Maverick, I'm coming to sleep on your couch, damn it. Okay? It's gonna have to be. No. It's an option that's coming.
Yeah.
But that's why
while it's not on the table, let's try that, and then let's just keep planting seeds. And I say planting seeds, planting perspectives.
Yeah.
So not forcing it, because I've noticed in one of my last relationships, I tried to help, and I felt like I was trying to help, but it never got through. It never got taken in, and it was never listened to. And it was because when I said it, I assumed, which I was right, but I was like, this is right, you should listen. And that perspective never gets you anywhere.
Never.
So the breadcrumb, what I've learned is if I can do the breadcrumb idea, where I offer little tidbits, where I offer little seeds.
Little seeds.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's
that's
like
where
follow the breadcrumbs.
Right. Because people only learn when they put the pieces together themselves.
But how do you respond when you get, don't shrink me, I'm not one of your clients?
Well, you have to do it very, very subtly. So, some people need it a little bit more aggressively. Some people don't.
Yeah.
But if you can get them to the point where they're starting to question it themselves, which is where that loving thing comes in.
Yeah.
If you start using that little bit of love and just start inserting those little seeds, they're going to start questioning, well, why is this happening? This isn't what usually happens. Like, you're breaking the internal pattern, because the pattern is right now is they come at you, you come at them, or they come at you, you try and understand, you try and reiterate, and then you come back. So that's something that's the pattern. My challenge is to break the pattern. Okay, so the 3 things that I'm talking about hopefully are in some way breaking the pattern. And if all 3 I feel like are addressed like in the same way, because the I feel like statement and then the killing the ego is just understanding and then not personalizing. And taking yourself out of the equation, taking yourself out of that perspective and putting yourself in their perspective, and then treating it as if
they're the one who matters. Or I forget what I said exactly, but
With love.
yeah.
Leading
So
with love.
treating them with love and taking that sort of an understanding. So I say that sort of understanding, but taking the understanding of they're coming at me with anger. I'm not internalizing it. I'm not personalizing it. It's they're angry at a situation. I understand that. While you might not want to be the punching bag for it, you can choose not to internalize it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because literally yesterday that situation happened to me, and I was the anger was directed at me, and I did not internalize it. I just kept with my own thing because I get to choose if it affects me or not.
Yeah.
And if it hits a nerve, then I need to understand why it hits a nerve, and then once I understand why it hits a nerve, I can address that in myself personally, and then let it go away. Because if there's something that hits a nerve in you, you need to address that, and you need to understand why it hurts you, why it's bothering you, and then take a step further from that, emotionally dissociate from that, and figure out, not in a bad way, but emotionally understand why that emotion is there, and then take that story, that power away from you, or from the situation, whatever, and then respond with love. Make it about them. Respond with love. Respond with that understanding, and not in a forceful way. Just redirecting. I understand you're hurting.
Yeah.
What can I do to help? And don't tell them, obviously. I mean, if it works, tell them, because if people communicate like that, then that's cool. But what can I do, even subtly, that I know will help them even just a little bit, and then calm them down? Because what the goal is if we can do that repetitively and consistently, those are the same words anyways, if I can do that to them, they're going to respond in kind to me, and that gives me the peace that I need. So if we can change that, take it to them, give them that love is going to be reciprocated towards us. And if we can do that, it's going to take some time at first, most likely, because nothing good happens overnight, right? But if we do that, then eventually that love is going to start being reciprocated. It's going to be a little bit easier. It's going to be a little bit more peaceful. And then we get that peace, and then we can really start to feel better. And then not even that, in the process of helping someone, and you feel like, in my opinion, when I see the gears clicking in someone else, or see the pieces getting put together in someone else, that brings me joy personally. Which is why I love to talk and offer new perspectives.
Well, that's why I became a mental health counselor. I like to see people grow. I want to say something, but I don't know if I should say it, because I don't. It's stuff that I'll say to you, not in this environment.
I got
that
you.
Because I don't want people to be like, nah, he sound like he's just about to be an a-hole, but I'm really not. But I'm about to have to find somebody. Cause, baby, we gonna try this.
Might as well.
We gonna try
That ain't
this.
gonna hurt.
I'm gonna try this one more time. But if I call you at 2:00 in the morning and tell you to come get this woman, you get in your car, you come get her.
You ain't that far away.
Because, sir, let me tell you, it's
not gonna hurt anything by trying. And yeah, I understand it's a stressful situation, but if we just try those two things, I feel like something might happen. I'm not saying it's gonna work, because obviously it's an experiment. I'm experimental, and
I've been experimenting with these people my entire life, and none of these experiments work out. So we'll try your experiment.
Might as well. I mean,
We'll try it.
the worst case scenario, you're at the same spot. Best case scenario, everything changes completely. If you even notice one bit of positivity come out of it, connect with that and understand that there is a possibility now. Because unfortunately I haven't had the chance to do it with my grandmother, and I would love to. I'm obviously very, very far away, and I haven't talked to her in a long time. But if even that perspective shift can spark something in them, and then obviously once you've pushed something down so long, it takes a long time, so it's not going to be immediate. But even if there's a slight change in the approach, that means that there's a possibility there, right? And that's what we're looking for, is what is the possibility? Because if we can reach someone who doesn't want to be reached, there's something, like we have something there.
We do have something there. If we can.
Again, we're not saying it's gonna work.
We're not saying it's not. Yeah, I know. We'll try it. I don't want to say I feel like I'm just kind of at a point. Where
But you gotta put your best foot forward. You can't go into it thinking, "Oh, this ain't gonna work."
I know that. I know that because it's not gonna work if you do that. It's just not.
Let me trust Maverick for just a little bit.
I've just noticed that when it comes to things like this, with this particular parent, when other people can get through, when I can't, and and it could just be just the monotony of me just being like, I don't want to try, because you get that way in relationships.
Yeah, right. And that's why I say
it's just like I just
thing.
don't wanna. At this point, I'd rather just focus on healing what I need to heal, so I can be more of a whole version of myself.
The main reason I'm saying to make it about them with the loving thing is because when you take the focus off of yourself
and put it on other people, you feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now don't take it upon yourself to be like, I have to fix everything about you.
Oh no. I'm not trying to fix. I'm not
right.
Jesus. I'm tired of fixing people. Like that's one thing that I've learned going through the process of counseling and helping people from that perspective is it's not my job to fix you. It's my job, as you said earlier, to plant the seeds, give you the things to think about, offer you different perspectives, and then be a support system to help walk you through the change and the processes. Sure. So I have no desire to want to fix any of them. I'm not a mechanic. Yeah. You've seen my car is. If I could fix that, I'd probably feel more capable of fixing people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to fix anything. I just want them to be happy and healthy and whole. And that's been, I'll say, what has probably kept me from going back crap crazy is the fact that I've spent more time in prayer for them over this past week than I have, I'll say, over the past couple months where things were good. It's just like that. I think that's the only thing I know for a fact, it's been the only thing that's given me peace.
Yeah.
Is praying for them and just being like,
and you're taking the focus off yourself.
These are your children. These are your children. These are your people. You loan to be to them temporarily. I want to say they did the best that they could do in certain moments. Although I know in some moments they didn't try, and that's fine. I have moments in life where I haven't tried. We all have had those moments. But it's been prayer that has been like,
well, and that helps it take it off. It helps your focus go off yourself and on other people.
It does. But it also makes it hard to pray sometimes because you start feeling like God isn't hearing your prayer. Because it's like, okay, you said you hear me. You said you answer me. Which is why I said it's a broad spectrum. Like, it's some levels that I haven't, that I don't want to dive into on the podcast until I'm able to like really get a full understanding.
Right, I understand.
Because my relationship with Christ has been tested this past week, like heavy, and that's the only thing that's been keeping me like sane is prayer. The only thing.
Last thing before we stop this episode.
Because we didn't even get on what we were supposed to be talking about.
But this is honestly,
but it's
honestly,
fine.
We needed this
because this is what we do.
Yeah, this is honestly, I think it was well needed, and it's why I addressed it this way, because now honestly I feel like you're in a much better mood, personally.
Oh, I feel a lot better.
Yeah,
I feel better. I still want to go take a nap and eat, but
yeah. So, last thing I want to say is, I don't mean this in a bad way at all, but when you're getting in that mentally drained position, like we can take this whole situation.
Yeah.
You took your perspective off of yourself, and now you feel better. So when you start getting into that situation where you feel drained, and then all you want to do is focus on yourself, like, why do I feel drained? Why is this happening to me? Why is all these problems happening to me? Try and switch it, and find someone to focus on that you know you can help.
So, Maverick, you hate me now?
Huh?
You hate me now?
No.
It's because I'm black.
What?
No, No, finish it off. I'm sorry.
No, but like
I just told you, and you gonna kick me in my ankle.
so. I'm saying like just take that switch, that quick switch, and then you know the people that you can help.
Yeah.
So take your perspective off of you in those situations and be, or like when I need to get something done and I don't want to do it, and I'm like, oh, this is annoying, or oh, I really don't want to do this. It makes me uncomfortable. I change the perspective to, who am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? What is the purpose behind this for other people? And then it makes it easier to do. So maybe not, in the same situation, like especially if you have to get stuff done, say I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for other people. Because
that's why I haven't quit school yet. Because when I told you earlier, like I've been struggling just to stay focused. The only thing that has kept me trying to get through this last 2 semesters is like I didn't go into this to further my education and knowledge for myself. I did it for other people.
Yeah.
And I did it to help build the body of Christ, because there's a lot that, as a whole, the church doesn't know from a mental health standpoint that would actually better help serve people in understanding and rebuild their connection to God. If it hadn't been for that, bro, I promise you, you see, I stopped going to the gym for a minute. But I can't quit that. Like that's been one of the things. It's like I gotta keep going.
And then last thing, try and help in those situations. Try and take the perspective off yourself, but do it in a way that makes you fulfilled when you're helping someone. So like, we'll say just baseline scenario, when you get into that situation, internalize it, like understand why, but then take the perspective off yourself. And then do something that you know you feel fulfilled doing, but do it for someone. And like we could say, even just going and talking to someone and having a perspective talk with them. Right, so like for me, if I'm feeling drained, or like you coming here, you felt drained, but you're like...
I was about to say, did I just pull from your energy? You told us I felt drained. Did I just drain you?
No, like I'm not feeling drained right now.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm going home. I can't. I am not going to be a spiritual leech.
No. But like you were drained coming, we'll use this for an example, easy example. You felt drained coming into the situation. Yeah. But now your focus is not on yourself. You're doing something that's fulfilling for yourself. Yeah. And ideally we're helping other people in the process. Yeah. All those 3 things come together. Yeah. How much better do you feel? See what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. Now maybe you're hungry, but as a whole, you did something to change, and then now you feel better. Okay. So the perspective's not on you anymore. It's more outwards, and we're having a conversation, which is also very helpful. Yeah. So, especially in my situation, when I get down on myself and when I'm internalizing, I want to isolate because it's my natural response. And in those situations, I've recognized I need to go and talk to someone. Yeah. So, that would be probably my final point for that, or for this conversation is, when you get into those situations, turn it around, focus on someone else, and do it in a way that's fulfilling to you. Because then it just brings you back out of the dust, out of the light. So and it helps give you a little bit of energy back, even if it's not much. You got to understand how your energy is depleted, and you got to understand how your energy is replenished. Yeah. For me, I know my energy is replenished when I have a deeper conversation that's full of finding answers. Yeah. I know when I have those conversations, or when I just share life experiences with someone who I haven't seen in a long time, I know those bring my energy level back. So try and understand what depletes your energy and what gains energy, what replenishes that energy. Yeah. Do those things. Obviously, you've been depleted. Yeah. You did a little bit, so your energy replenished just a little bit. But what can you do? Understand what replenishes your energy, to what extent, and see if you can implement more of those things in your life, even when the things, like we'll say your car, are not going ideal. So instead of internally complaining or like saying like, oh, why is this happening to me? You can switch it around and say, what can I do to replenish my energy to help me better address this situation? Yeah.
I know part of it is my verbiage.
That's a lot of it.
Because God, He checked me early today because I was getting ready to say something. He was like, the power of life and death is in the tongue, and those that love it will eat the fruit thereof. And I'm like, he was like, quit saying you're tired.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. I'm better at it now though.
I've gotten like, when I say like the past week, because I think even you may have noticed, because I think when you saw me Monday, when you saw me, your whole like, your face changes. I've paid attention to you. Your face changes a lot. You're extremely aware. And I think you picked up like Monday, like he's in a weird space when I saw you at the gym. But I've been telling myself a lot, like, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. Not necessarily just physically tired. It's just like the cycles with the family structure and trying to heal in an area. Because one of the things that I had a conversation with someone about the other day, and I'm trying to keep, it's very easy to help other people through their problems. And
Hard to address yours.
yeah, and I was, she was talking to me, and I had to tell her, like, sometimes God will put you in a space and in a place to give you the education and the knowledge that you need to help you through your situation while you help other people. And I've been in that space, but it's also, it's I don't say any relationship, but in any moment, it's very when you realize, like, okay, this is going on, God is using this to do this, God is using this to do this, God is using it to do this, and you're still trying to like heal yourself and purge yourself of the things that don't service you or others around. Like pride, ego, anger, jealousy, unforgiveness, learning to let go of bitterness, because bitterness and unforgiveness are two different things, but they come together. Being willing to have certain conversations, being willing to allow yourself to feel, like all of these things that I help people with in my profession and in what I'm still studying further in my education on. I'm having to take all of those components and try to operate in an area that has already been, for the past 30 plus years of my life, uncomfortable. So just in sharing that with her, it's like, God does it for a reason. It's only going to better you. But when you're in that seat, it's difficult to see it in yourself. Like, it's this extremely difficult. So I've been like, I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm sick of these people. And that's another one that I gotta stop using, because
you gotta change it.
You gotta change.
You gotta
Because
change
like
your story.
I don't. Not even that. I don't want to claim that I'm sick of somebody and end up getting sick. Like just literally like. So it's like one of those things of, it's like learning to try to structure my verbiage to find another way to just kind of say I'm exasperated in some areas, but
Or just
being
stop
more
telling
cognizant
yourself
of
that
it.
you're tired and
Yeah.
these people are bothering you. Because the more you're telling the more you're telling yourself that these people are bothering you, that's why those snapbacks are happening.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you that if you were in a positive mindset, you would brush out all of that stuff off.
Because normally I just be like, okay, y'all, deuces.
Exactly.
I've been, which is
not
so
even that.
awkward. Because like I've been in a
You've been in a funk.
past year and a half, I've been in a place to where like stuff, what's happening now normally would just be like, oh, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Like literally it's Thursday. Or friends would be like, what is going on with her? Girl, it's Friday. But it's like, it's been a funk of the past like week, 2 weeks. I'll say really 2 weeks. But it's been a gradual thing. Like at first it was like, it was easy to like maneuver. And now it's just been like, okay. So it's been, part of it is the verbiage part, which I take responsibility for that. Because I'm very big on telling people, watch what you say.
Yeah.
If you don't do anything, if you can't change the situation, watch what you say. Because you can speak life over it, or you can speak death.
And I mean, it doesn't help. So what I think maybe happened to a point is some negative stuff happened, and then you're like, well, you're normal, you brush it off, whatever. And then something even more significant happened, and this happens to me sometimes too, when things just keep piling and piling. It feels like you can't escape. And then you think about it too much, and then you internalize it, and then you want to isolate. And when you isolate, you take yourself away from the people that are positive in your life. and then you just get more negative, which is why I'm very careful with isolation now.
Yeah.
I make sure that I'm by people who are going to be positive with me when I'm negative.
Yeah.
And I don't get negative very often, but when I do, I want to make sure that I'm next to someone who's positive. So I think what happened is maybe you let yourself get a little bit too far down the path, and then you started isolating yourself. And I noticed that, obviously, because I noticed the lack of communication between the two of us. And it's even when I was trying to reach out. And you started isolating yourself, and you isolated yourself from someone you know is going to be positive with you. So you got to the point where you kept being negative on yourself, and you let that negativity bring you even deeper, and then you started isolating yourself.
Oh, yeah. And that's what our therapist was like, isolation is good in moments, but you can isolate too much. And between that of just like, I just need a minute to myself, and then still going to work, still going to school. So of course I can't be as communicative as I want in those aspects, and then have to go home and it's just like, I need a minute. I separated myself from like you and one other person for a fact that I know I could call and just be like, yo, we need to talk. But I also have to have language. Like, I'm very big on language. Like, I need to be able to have some type of understanding of what I'm feeling to communicate that. But with being numb to some things, it's just been difficult to just like. Plus, I also don't like to come off like an asshole. Excuse me, a butthole. Because I know when I feel, I'll tell somebody exactly what I feel, and it's like, I don't like the fact that that came out of my mouth. So it's multi-layered, and I think you're the only person here recently outside of one of my cousins and one of my other close friends that have just been like, you quiet, what's wrong? Because I've noticed our conversations have started over like the past 3 weeks. What's going on? What's wrong? Or you'll just be like, talk to me. And it's like, I'm cool. Because in that moment, I am cool. Later on that night, though, I'm not cool. Because it's, emotions come in waves. So it's like some moments you're extremely good, and it's like, okay, I'm cool. But I'm transparent with people. I'm cool until I'm not. And that's most of us, but I'm cool until I'm not. And normally, if I'm in a weird space, when I talk to somebody, I tell them, but it's just been like, I'm good. And that's part of me trying to keep myself in that area. Of like, no, I'm cool. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna make it through it. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna survive.
Yeah, but see, that's even negative.
But it is. In itself, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Empower yourself through it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Come on. Oops, that's gonna be loud.
Get your black
let's come on.
up. Move.
That's it. I think that's just kind of what happened, because I know that you're normally like, you're maybe not as positive as me, which
I know you didn't.
But you're usually positive, and you're in a funk, and you've been in
positive and happy.
You've been in this position for a little bit, and you let it bring yourself to isolation, and then this happened. So, get out of it, dude. I'm just kidding. But
I know you didn't. I'm going home because this is a therapy session I didn't even choose to want to have. Okay, we were supposed to be talking about unforgiveness.
You can unforgive me later. How about that? Okay. I think we got a good conversation, and
we went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I think we needed it though. I think it was good. Anyways, we will address a lot of other stuff and get back to the spiritual forgiveness and stuff. Again, just to briefly touch on it from the video and my TikTok, or probably in both, but just
and
touch on that.
And it won't be a month. It won't take a month.
Yeah, just to touch on that a little bit. Forgiveness is more of a personal thing, because you're holding on to stuff that you're holding on to things that holds you back, really. And it's all, forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about yourself, and that's your choice. So when I was talking about, it hurt, but they're forgiven, and referencing the TikTok video or whatever, it was interesting to me, because I felt no anger, no hatred or anything towards the person, and I was at peace. But I mean, I was hurting, and just because you're hurting doesn't mean you have to take it out on someone else.
That's true.
And it was hurting, but it doesn't mean you gotta hold a grudge against that person, because again, it did happen, and that's unfortunate. But you can move past it. Like it's that well, that was
Well.
weird.
There goes the light.
But anyways, it's the forgiveness is really for you. It's not for them. It's like, oh, I'm not going to forgive them because they did me wrong. It's no, you need to forgive the situation so that you can move on and so that you can have a better life and so that you can change your story. And we'll talk more about it later on another episode. But that's just kind of just to touch on it a little bit, since that was the original purpose of this. Anyways. Thank you again, Terance, for coming and being a part of this. New mics, hopefully they worked. If they don't, that's really sad because this was a really good conversation, a really long conversation, I think. Anyways.
It was a needed conversation.
Yeah.
I was a little more transparent than I cared to be, because I've been very much so like, I don't want to talk to nobody about nothing. So maybe that's what was needed. Maybe that was...
I think so. I think it was positive.
Maybe we needed to... Maybe God needed us to be more transparent in our conversation. Maybe somebody needs to hear that it's okay to be a little more see-through than...
Yeah, of course. Sorry it's shining on you. But...
No, that's okay. I need the light. I'm dark. Keep trying to tell you. You put me on cameras.
But anyways,
but
thank you guys for joining and listening to this conversation. If you got anything out of it, awesome. If you didn't, you can hate on me later. But anyways, you guys you guys enjoy yourselves. Peace.
Peace.